This might look like an ordinary English house and garden, but what I'm interested in is beyond these walls. I want to show you a sour little secret. I really don't feel like I'm in England, sitting here in this thick heat, surrounded by white walls. I could be in Morocco or Spain, and especially surrounded by this dense citrus foliage, and this is the reason why I'm here.
Because of our climate, those of us brave enough to grow lemons tend to do so in containers and pots. But 83-year-old Don England has come up with a better solution.
Don, where does your obsession with lemons and other citrus fruits come from?
I've been to a lot of places and seen what they do with them, and I've never seen a decent one. So I thought, well, I can surely do better than that.
So it was a bit of a challenge, actually.
Bit of a challenge.
Don has converted an old workshop to accommodate a full-size lemon tree. He's planted it directly into the soil through the brick foundations to let the roots expand. The plastic roof and double-glazed windows expose it to light and keep it warm in the colder months.
I picked lemons this last year that weighed £0.5.
£0.5?
Yeah.
Wow.
And off of this tree, we picked 38 pounds of lemon.
Mm-hmm.
To get the best out of lemons, make sure your bed is filled with a nutrient-rich compost and apply liquid fertiliser every month once your tree is established. Although Don has his own secret ingredient, cider.
You get a pint of cider, you can't drink it all, so you have half and he has half.
Well, I think there's a bit of a secret there.
In the same conservatory, he also grows a lesser-known exotic, the kumquat. These are hardier than lemons and can withstand temperatures as low as -5 degrees.
They're a good fruit to grow, really, because they keep flowering and they keep producing, and you've got fruit all the year round.
For people who haven't got a lot of room, it seems that this is a citrus that's very happy in a pot.
Yeah.
Now, it seems funny, you put so much effort into this lovely kumquat, but you don't like eating it, do you?
Oh.
Well, I'm going to take the liberty. They're sour, they're bitter, and they're also very sweet. And I'm going to actually cook some for you in return for showing me around this amazing place and see if I can get you to eat some.
All right.
I'm going to cook Don a lemon posset. This pudding is super simple and the results are absolutely wonderful.
Bring some double cream and sugar to a simmer in a pan. Then stir in grated lemon zest and lemon juice and simmer for 2 minutes more.
They just have to go in the fridge and chill, get a little bit firmer, and you'll have a wonderful, sugary, tart, tangy, lemony pudding.
Meanwhile, boil the kumquats with sugar and a little water to make a compote and allow to cool. Now let's see what Don thinks.
Sharp.
Mm-hmm.
I love it very much, yeah.
Oh, I'm very pleased.
Yeah, it's good.
Don, I have to say thank you for a really fun day. It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure to have you here. It's nice.
Thank you.
So Kate is planting next to the newly clad wall delicious nectarine and peach trees. It's the ideal place for them as they love a warm spot, and the new wall will retain any heat from the sun.
Nectarines and peaches have really early flowers, so in springtime when they flower, if you think it's going to be cold, then it's really good to put some protection up. Just a bit of horticultural fleece kind of over it and tucked behind them will protect those flowers, meaning that you'll get fruit later in the year. When these are in fruit, it's really important to water consistently, because when you don't, that's what causes the fruit to split.
These peach trees will fruit from mid to late summer and will eventually grow to well over 6 feet, adding protection from the sun on this side of the garden.
And the biggest reason that these are going in here is for Isabel, because they smell amazing and they taste delicious.
Lovely fresh compost filling the beds, Katie can get on with some proper gardening.
Baz was really keen to have loads of fruit and vegetables growing in this garden, so that's what I want to give him. But I want to keep away any pests that might eat them. To do that, I'm going to do something called companion planting, which is planting often sacrificial plants like this marigold that the pests would rather eat over the vegetables. And it flowers all summer right until the first frost, as long as you remember to deadhead it. So as soon as the flowers are finished, you just nip them off and then it will send up new flowers. Also, things that are heavily scented like this thyme will distract any insects from finding the juicy tomatoes on this plant, which is a tumbling variety. It'll stay nice and compact and bushy, and then hopefully the fruit will cascade over the sides.
If you're only going to grow one tree in your new garden, make it an apple. You get stunning blossom in the spring and fruit from summer to autumn. Francis has been growing 2 compatible varieties, including this Laxton's Fortune over the winter.
And when you plant any apple, you need to remember that usually you need 2. Some are self-fertile, but I have another here, which is a heritage one, and that is called Ingrid Marie. And that one will allow this to cross-pollinate, which means hopefully this year I will get some fruits.
An espalier tree is manipulated to get the maximum amount of produce in a limited space.
If you have limbs which are down flat, then you'll find that they'll ripen a lot better. And this is a lovely sunny wall for most of the morning, so we'll have lovely ripening fruits here.
The side branches are trained along the wire, and any that grow straight out from the wall that affect the shape are removed. With some instant colour added to the base of the tree, stage 1 is complete.
So hopefully this year I will be able to pick delicious apples from my very own tree.
When it comes to fruit trees and bushes, there's a variety to suit any space.
This is one of my favourite fruits. It's a raspberry. This is a brand new variety. It's called Ruby Beauty, and unlike the big canes, this one is a small bush, which is perfect for growing in raised beds or containers.
David's built planters from old decking boards and filled them with multi-purpose compost.
They only get to about 1 metre tall, and it has almost 1.5 kilograms of fruit that you can get from this bush.
Raspberries enjoy sun for at least some of the day, and this one's thornless, so it's ideal for tiny tots.
So I have chosen this beautiful fig tree. It has lovely, big, tropical looking leaves, and it even has some figs already forming on it.
As long as its roots won't spread too far, a single tree in a narrow plot makes a great focal point.
When you're planting any huge plant, especially when you're by yourself, the last thing you want is to be putting them in and out so easily. Check the depth of your plant by just using your spade to measure it, then you'll know that it's deep enough.
To restrict its roots, Frances is keeping her fig tree in its pot, which has the added benefit of encouraging more fruit. To enjoy delicious juicy figs in summer, you'll need a sunny spot. Try it against a south or a west facing wall.
If you like plums, you want to give this one a go. This is a blood plum. It is in fact really dark red flesh to it, and what's very special is that the stone comes away from the flesh easily.
Plum trees are perfect for first-time gardeners because they don't need much maintenance.
It produces quite a bit of fruit around about November, December time. Now this is a cherry here. This particular one is Morello. You know, the one that you have in pies and pancakes.
You can encourage the tree to produce more fruit by festooning it. This involves tying the branches downwards with string.
November, when the stems really harden, they'll be actually held into that position. You can take the strings away, and as it grows, you'll be able to pick quite comfortably, which is perfect with the young ones.
If you're planting fruit trees this summer, you might have to wait until next year to start picking. But trust me, it'll be worth it.
I'm really pleased with that.
For some time I've been wanting to get more fruit into my kitchen garden, so I've got a rather neat solution. And that is by using
these little beauties. These are called Stepover trees. I've got 2 pears and 2 apples. And what they are normal pears. This is a variety called Doyen du Comis, which is succulent, the best pear. What Stepover trees are fruit trees grafted onto a dwarfing rootstock. Now this is the rootstock, and this makes sure it doesn't grow into a socking great pear tree. The beauty of these is they take up very little space, and they do give you a reasonable crop. Not of my bum.
I haven't room for a large tree in my bed, so by adding a row of 4 stepovers, I'll have my own micro orchard.
What I am doing is making a sort of dish around the base so that I can keep this well watered. If it just has flat soil, it'll all run off.
I'm planting the trees about 1 metre apart, and I'll prune the side shoots back to encourage them to keep forming fruits in future years.
Giving a really good soaking in. So I now have a lovely little fruitful boundary to my veg patch, and I'll be eating apples by the autumn. Look at these. I'll wait a bit longer for the pears, but they're definitely Stepover, even for those with a relatively modest inside leg. There you are. Grow well, little trees.
It's now been 8 weeks since Alison and I began working on our veg patches. My new Stepover apple trees are going great guns too.
There's plenty of fruit on these trees, which is wonderful in a way, but there can be too many. Now, there is a natural phenomenon called June drop. It's happened here on this cluster. This little fruit has not developed properly and it's dropped off. It's the tree's natural way of thinning its crop.
If a tree has too much fruit on it, it can affect the quality of the crop, but you can give it a helping hand.
What you need to do in summer is very simple pruning. These shoots that grow, pinch out the shoot tip after 3 or 4 leaves.
That way you encourage the formation of next year's flower buds.
First plant I'm going to pop in is a blueberry. Now these are huge family favourites in our house, and they're really a fabulous plant. As long as you plant them in ericaceous compost, which is acidic, they'll be very happy.
Blueberries are rich in vitamins and minerals that are believed to lower blood pressure and cholesterol. To enjoy fruits this summer, buy a self-fertile variety that's already in flower. It'll need a sunny spot to maximise fruit production.
The nice thing about them is, as a plant, they're really attractive. We've got these pretty flowers on, and then they are absolutely packed full of antioxidants, so really good for you.
We love having peppers on the barbecue. We grill them. They're really nice. Now, there are a couple of options. There's the bell peppers, but there's also the long, pointy ones. That's the ones we like. I put them on skewers onto the barbecue. Now, this one's called Marconi. It's a faster growing one.
Midsummer is a perfect time for growing pepper plants. When they start producing flowers, you can feed them once a week with dilute liquid tomato feed, and within weeks you'll have crunchy veg that's perfect for the barbie.
And that's it. 4 plants in this particular bed will grow about 1 metre tall, and they'll produce loads of those really sweet, flavoursome, long, pointed peppers.
In full sun, pepper plants will happily grow, but adding a poly cover
It's not a doll's house out of there.
keeps the heat in and encourages even faster growth.
There we go.
It's always good to try new things or things you haven't done for a long while. And I haven't grown melons in ages.
Melons are one of my favourite summer fruits, but they're also one of the trickiest to grow. To make sure of a harvest this summer, I'm growing them from plants and in the greenhouse.
Right, so that's my framework done. To support... Oh, don't they smell gorgeous? Cantaloupe melons are the best ones to grow in a greenhouse, I think. 'Cause the flavour, the fragrance, all of it. The orange-fleshed ones. This is what it's going to look like. This is what my plants look like. That behind that little tiny flower down there is a round blob. and that will be your melon.
Once the new plants are established,
Good watering. Melons are greedy because they're just about 95% water in their makeup.
my next challenge will be to pollinate the flowers on the plants as they grow to encourage the formation of fruits. Each plant has both male and female flowers. You have to take the male flower and rub the pollen from it onto the female by hand.
The male flower and the female flower are easy to tell apart. Female has a little melon behind it. The male doesn't. One male will do 4 females. I'm saying nothing.
As the melons grow, once they're too heavy to support themselves, they'll need to be hung in a net.
You can fasten these nets to the framework and hold your melons until the smell gives away the fact that they're ripe. This is a dwarf apricot. If you've got a doorstep and that's all, you can plant it in a tub and enjoy its fruits. Crocks in the bottom to cover the drainage holes, and then some ordinary peat-free multi-purpose compost inside.
Apricots love a sunny spot. To enjoy fruit this summer, look for a tree where young fruits are already starting to form.
I've really soaked the tree in its pot. That's very important when you're planting anything. Tap off the pot.
Then I tease out the roots, plant it at the right level, fill in and remove any unwanted branches.
Apricots, it's always summer pruning, never in winter. How quickly will this little apricot fruit? Look at that.